Good morning!
Morning!
Hey, everybody!
I'm so proud of you.
What?
You didn't start with so.
You can watch my Instagram stories before they disappear.
I cannot not think
understand.
of the real world whenever we say stories.
I feel like we're like, okay, that's better. Now we're...
If you say so.
Sure. Hey,
Are you feeling Olympic inspired today?
What?
Are you feeling Olympic inspired today?
Olympic inspired?
Yeah.
Why?
You got the gold headband going on.
Well...
You trying to go on for the curling team?
No, it just...
Women's hockey?
Oh my God.
Big air? She misses me when I'm gone, I swear.
He's been gone all flipping week, people, and didn't even get home till midnight. So, anyway, join Andrew here. Just a hot mess this Saturday morning. You were folding laundry that had been sitting in our closet for the whole week.
I was not going to call you out on that. I just quietly took the laundry and folded it and put a half of it away.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we wanted to talk to you about something that is very, this is serious, okay? I might get on a soapbox depending on how much of this I get. The Mama Jet fuel. Hold on a second.
We're going to talk about the concept of this in your work.
In your work. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know about you, but a lot of us have grown up thinking or hearing this phrase, like, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
I call total bull crap. Total bull crap.
It's just not true. That's not true. And here's why believing that lie sets you up for massive disappointment in your life and will never help you actually pursue excellence or success. And this is a huge thing for any area of your life, any new hobby, new skill, new job, anything in your fitness, right? And this actually is very, very important. So here's the deal. Let's talk about passion. What is passion?
Passion's an emotion is what passion is.
Passion is an emotion. And so I want you to think about when you first started dating your spouse or significant other. Remember those days? We would play pinball all the time, and we would hang out all the time, and get butterflies all the time. We would, but we actually kind of would scale fences of a local neighborhood area.
We didn't kind of scale fences. We scaled the fence, jumped over it, went swimming in the local neighborhood in the college where we weren't supposed to be, got chased out on at least 2 occasions I remember. But,
okay, so the point about that is, when you first start dating someone and you feel that passion, that's an emotion. Oh. It's an emotion. And what happens with emotions over time is that they fade. And so if we, have been told our whole lives, if you just find do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. We are setting ourselves up to work for something that gives us an emotion. So if you're passionate about something, that's all fine and dandy. And, my point really is your life is going to steer you in a direction that will guide you toward things that you have a genuine interest in. But it is setting yourself up to fail if you think that it's never going to feel like work just because it's something you enjoy, right?
Well, I think we're designed for work. I mean, we're designed to have strife and struggle in our lives. If you're not struggling with something, and I don't necessarily mean being completely overwhelmed and burdened, etc. But if there's not something you're doing that's challenging you. Yeah. And candidly, if you're doing something you love, you should be challenged to get better at that. You should be challenging yourself. You need to go find it. We need that.
People call it grit. Yeah. It's like that stick-to-itness that helps you persevere. That's what you have to fall in love with, is the work. The process, the journey, right? Because even in our marriage, okay, so the passion of the first, dating, I would love to say that passion, of when you are dating someone for the first time is still there. It's a different type of passion and love now.
The only time she gives me butterflies now is when I've screwed up.
What?
You know how you get that butterfly feeling? I only get that when I've screwed up. I know I'm going to be in trouble.
That's not butterflies. That's I'm in the doghouse.
Yeah, I know, but I'm anticipating it coming. So.
Anyway, the point is, if you want to have a successful marriage, right, you have to work. It becomes work. You have to work at it.
Even though it's awesome and you love it and you wouldn't rather do anything else, it's still work.
It's still work. And so the same is true with whatever we are called to with our life's work. You can't make your decisions based on emotion. you have to, you know, make your decisions based on like data, knowledge, and action is what matters. And so at some point, no matter what you're doing, you're getting, you know, like we all had that job that we started and we loved it. We loved it so much. We were so excited. We're going to change the world and this job is amazing. And I'm going to climb the corporate ladder and I'm going to get the raise in 6 months, right? Like
Get out of my head.
We all had that. And then what happened? We got like...
You got that first no from your boss. You got that first idea that was shot down.
You got your first 3% raise instead of like the, you know, 20% raise.
Or whatever. But I mean, it's like I'm in that role right now. I'm in a job that I actually really, really like. I enjoy what I do. I'm passionate about what we're delivering. It's work.
It's
people.
work.
Like, I mean, it's I've got to show up and I've got to have grit and get through it, especially, you know, as well documented on our page, that involves being in 4 different cities in 5 days. You know, I love what I do. I love how we do it. I love what we deliver, but I got to put my nose to the grindstone and make it happen.
And so, like, instead of for parenting, like, this is huge because our oldest is about to like go off to college. And so like, instead of preaching to them, like, do something you love, you know, we want to impart to them, like, sure, you're going to have lots of things that interest you over time. What the thing you should fall in love with is the journey of becoming better, of, you know, the hard work of showing up every day, the hard work of setting personal goals for yourself, not just, you know, the business goals of whoever you're working for, but personal goals and like showing up. That is the work that you should fall in love with. So anyway, just our thoughts today about how trying to follow your passion just sets you up for not being super happy.
We're not saying don't follow your passion. That's not what we're saying. You absolutely should. Identify what you do well, what you love to do, get involved in that. But also realize life isn't a Disney movie. Like, as much as I love Disney, it's not a Disney movie. It is not going to go, you're not going to follow along and everything goes your way and then you have a major plot twist that puts everything down to the bottom and you rebuild everything back up with the help of some, you know, outside force that really shows you everything you really are. By the way, I just laid out the plot for every Disney movie you've ever watched. But it's not going to be that. It takes work, and you should expect work. And if you expect it going in, find something you really love to do. And then when you are challenged in that, dude, that's the best time. That's when you grow. Mm-hmm. That's when you are challenged and you overcome. You find a way over it. You find a way around it. Or if you can't do one of those 2 things, you fight through it and go through there. But that's where you really find the reward. And I promise you, when you come out the other side, will that portion of it be the super happy part that you want to do? No. Not at all. But when you look back, you're going to feel a lot better because those are the kind of things that really make you grow as a person, is being able to fight through those things and learn from it and be able to say, wow, that was where I had to put my nose to the grindstone. That had to show up every day. The grid had to go up. But now I know how to deal with that in the future, and I'm better for it because of it.
Yeah, I will tell you, like, when I started this whole coaching journey, like, I worked super hard. I got up before the kids were awake. I stayed up, you know, after he fell asleep, which he falls asleep like that, so it's not too hard to stay up past you. I swear to you, he can fall asleep at the drop of a hat. It's crazy, but...
Pretty cool.
I never, do I look back upon that season of life where I, you know, was working full time, working for a nonprofit, working, you know, volunteering for the PTA. I had a lot on my plate. Do I regret, you know, working hard at something else that, you know, changed lives? No. That was a period of time where I, like, rediscovered my grit, rediscovered my creativity, rediscovered the fact that there was like far more in me that I just wasn't even paying attention to. And so I fell in love with the art and the work of becoming something better, right? Of just evolving. And so anyway, I think that's one of the reasons why I think, and we preach this on our team all the time, it's like personal development is a non-negotiable. And I remember before like this whole coaching journey, I rarely read books. Really rarely. But now they're like a non-negotiable because we know that where the mind goes, like the body, the business, your family, like your whole life will follow. And so, you know, whatever you do, do it with excellence, but take massive action. it's not a euphoric feeling all the time. Sure, there are highs and lows, and whatever got you intrigued and involved in the first place probably had a great amount of emotion to it. But at some point you have to decide, like, I'm going to show up and do, like, own the crap work regardless of whether I feel like it or not. And hello, we have an obligation as adults to model that for our kids. I mean, can you imagine if, like, our son came down and was like, hey, I don't feel like going to work today? And
no, I can't imagine what that's like at all.
He says it all the time. But, you know, can you imagine if his parents were like, well, we don't feel like really working either, so just don't go. Just don't go. You know, like, they'll just, you know, no bad thing will happen from that. No. As parents, we're like, you got to show up and do the crap work even when you don't feel like it. And so that's part of life. That's part of evolving as a leader. That's part of evolving as a leader of self, really.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get a harvest if you don't sow, and no one likes the sowing portion of it. No one that I've met likes going out and tilling a field and digging holes and putting in seeds and doing all this stuff. They love the harvest.
Oh my gosh,
they love that.
That brings me to this amazing. I watched recently this.
I have no idea where she's going now.
You don't, because you haven't seen it. This documentary on was it wheat crops? I think it was wheat crops. If somebody who was at the retreat remembers, I think it was wheat crops.
The problem with wheat?
No. It was this documentary about, like, a wheat farmer, and I might have the crop wrong, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
We
so, like,
typically practice these types of stories before we
No,
come
we
on,
don't.
so you are seeing unadulterated joy
No, we
here,
don't.
and I
Okay,
can't wait.
the principle still applies. So, like, he's a farmer. He has this premium crop, right? And the things that go into, like, harvesting this premium crop, y'all, I was like, so they have to, like, rotate the crops in order to put back in the nutrients.
Right.
So what the farmer would do, and he went through this whole thing about how he would plant, like, less profitable crops for years just to get the right nutrients into the ground, so that when he did finally sow the premium crop, he would reap a huge harvest. And I think that's super important in our lives. Like, there's going to be times where we are just showing up and we are, like, harvesting a crop that seems like less profitable, less productive, less everything. And we're going to be like, why are we doing this? Oh, that's right. We're making fertile soil so that when we do sow seed into the ground for the premium harvest, it is ready. And that's a lot of, like, your initial phase of anything new, is that you feel like you're putting in more work than you're getting return in on your effort. But I promise you, if you hold fast to the grit, if you get on the other side of that, you pour into yourself, pour into personal development, pour into just consistent effort, then that premium crop is waiting for you. Success is there, but you have to get through the suck of this phase. Like, there's no getting around it in anything you do. So anyway, that's just our 2 cents on trying to, design a life around just emotion, and not around just really great hard work ethic, right? Like, you just got to show up and do it.
Or as I like to say, embrace the suck.
Yeah.
Just embrace it. Let it drive you.
All right, so our day today is going to be busy, but not sucky.
I'm about to go do something that's going to hurt.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Well, you want to share and then we'll end up, because everyone's like, okay, we're done.
We are teaching a lesson to our oldest child about car ownership, and the fact that just because you bought the car for several $1,000s does not mean that you're going to not pay several $1,000s again later for the car when something on it magically breaks. So we got to go pick up his car. It's going to be a 4-figure bill. I already know the total on it, but they've had it for a week. It's been crazy. Basically, the whole dashboard went out. Like, every instrumentation panel, etc. went out. They had to replace it.
And you know what, though? I swear to you, and I didn't plan on saying this, but part-time coaching, thank God that we have just a little extra financial buffer that, like, it's not going to kill us. So, anyway, we have a free 5-day boot camp on Monday if you want to jump in, which is going to be super fun. Y'all can message us if you want to get into the boot camp, and, he might cry a tear as he pays a pretty big bill today.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Have a great Saturday, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.